My name is Andrew Wyatt, and this is my lightning talk for Health 236, Race and Ethnicity. So, from Module 3, I looked at worldview and health decisions, and I found a table about reflecting on my own worldview. So, the table asks, reflect on your own worldview and how it differs from others. What are the philosophical reasons and how your worldview differs from others? How do these beliefs affect relationships and possibly lead to conflict? And it asks to consider the following questions. How comfortable are you with being touched? What is your perspective of time? What does it mean to you when people are late? How do you make healthcare decisions? And how do you view illness? So, for me, how comfortable am I with being touched? Personally, I don't care. If someone brushes up against me in public, it won't bother me. If it's in an aggressive manner or an intentional shoulder bump, of course it will. But for the most part, being touched, such as a high five, a handshake, just dapping someone up anytime, it doesn't matter to me. My perspective of time, and I feel like this is just a personal view, not really a world view, is I hate it when people are late. I don't like being late at all. I'd prefer to be 15 minutes early to anything, but that's just me. What does it mean to you when people are late? I don't like it. It's upsetting. It shows a lack of respect. It's just low class to me. And how do I make healthcare decisions? Personally, I make healthcare decisions by not making healthcare decisions. My parents make my healthcare decisions. That's fine with me. I have an insurance card in my wallet, and that's about all I know. And I know that's going to be the view that differs the most from people. And how do I view illness? To me, it's something that's not very important. I don't fear it. It's just illness. Just this past week, I was sick. Didn't worry about it. I knew I would get better, and I did. Just kind of waited it out and had no fear of it doing anything else to me. So these answers that I gave for these questions, they made me question what people from other cultures would think. So from my understanding, just what I speculated that the Japanese culture of most cultures would be the most strict and firm with these. I would assume they don't like being touched. I assume just how they are that they have a very important perspective of time. It's very important to them. I would think that they don't like late people. For healthcare decisions, I feel like they're very educated with that. They seem to be in good health, and when reading in another module, I found that they are very good with health. And for illness, I feel like it would depend on them. They might have a spiritual perspective on it, or just a very technological standpoint on it, on how to fix it. So when looking, a lot of these were actually hard to find some worldviews on it, but for one of them, I found that, so for physical contact, how comfortable you are with being touched. Like I suspected, the Japanese culture, they don't shake hands, they bow. So they're not really into being touched. But as some people know, like in some European countries and in Spain, kissing on the cheek is fine, and men holding hands and just that's fine. That's not weird to them at all. That's just their culture. So for some European countries, it's kissing on the cheek. For the Japanese culture, you don't touch. I know they have a fear of germs, so that could be it. And then Muslims have the strictest rules when it comes to touching. So men and women cannot touch. Even married couples will not touch, and they just don't touch. And another thing, when it comes to time, there's also I was right about the Japan. uh, anything after 1 minute is considered late, and that is rude. In China, though, it's not considered late if you're within 10 minutes of the agreed time. In Malaysia, however, 5 minutes, saying that you'll be 5 minutes late, means that you'll be an hour late, and that's just accepted, and they know that. In South Korea, being late is very disrespectful, and they don't tolerate that. And yeah, so different views on that. And when it comes to health, that's also different. I found a study about people with diabetes, and when it comes to taking insulin, on how willing they are. So the group consisted of 6 Malaysians, 5 Chinese, and 10 Indians, and almost half of them, even though they needed it, were not keen on starting insulin because they did not believe in it. So, as I suspected, the culture is very different. The worldview is very different among place to place, and a lot of it can be based on personal belief, but I think that, and from what I found, it is mainly cultural.